Hi folks, right, okay, back to, I've lost my large shake. Well that's strange. Don't know where they've gone. Oh, that's unbelievable. Someone's pinched my hakes. Right, well I've got the small ones, I don't need to use those though. Well I do, but not for the moment. Where have they gone? Oh, on the floor. Right, okay, where we are. Okay, keep it simple stupid, K.I.S.S. Keep it simple stupid, good title for this video. I'm aiming mainly at beginners and intermediate painters really, and watercolour as well. Most people seem to start with watercolours before they progress into other mediums like oil and acrylic. It's all to be done, it's all there. Okay, now wetting wet watercolour, wet the paper all over and it will expand, and then all you do is reclip it. I like to put a wash, well I'm not using raw sienna, I'm using light red and this is one from the boardwalk, just a memory. None of my paintings are literal. I do take photographs, but just use them as a prompt. And now, bit of cloud. It's a cloudy day today. I won't overdo do this. And touch of red, just to darken it to a cloud colour or sort of cloud colour. Right, just the indigo and light red, just to give a bit of a sky. Nothing set the world on fire. It'll all dry lighter. I will go back to my main palette in due course, but I'm just enjoying doing the two or three colour tone studies, just to keep things simple. With so many colours around, how many should you use? What do you use? Well, I give a guide to my palette. It's basically the Ron Ransom palette that came into being in 35 odd years ago by Ron Ransom, who discovered the hake as well. It was a wonderful brush to paint with. I think it's a varnish brush. Drinking my cup of tea. Right, now into that we need a bit of background, so I'm going to use my hake, my medium hake, with a bit of blue just to give a hint of distance. Blue being a cold colour, recedes. See, we've got a two-dimensional piece of paper and we're trying to create a three-dimensional scene, and the way we do it is with aerial perspective. That is, cool colours recede, warm colours like the reds, the browns, the yellows come forward. So we'll use this cold blue in the background. Just Okay, silence is me just thinking where I'm going to go next. Keep focal points, you know, points of interest away from the middle of the picture. And horizons, third up, third in other words, or third quarter. You don't want to divide a page into two halves because you won't, or the viewer won't know what bit to look at. So the foreground is, and the middle distance is going to be the interest in the painting. Okay, so we'll imagine this is the background to a local park, Morden Hall Park, where we go bike riding. And it's the wetlands. It's a small area. The River Wandle, which I paint, as you know, is a small river running from part of Croydon, South London, into to the Thames via 16 miles of meandering. And it used to be, used to have about 90 mills working on it in the 19th century. There's only one now. I'm going to put a bit of a foreground in now, and the wetlands. So let's go a bit greeny. And the water table of the Wandle is very high in this park. It's all part of the Wandle Valley. So we'll add water to this. And just give the impression of water. A bit of darker greeny colour in there, just to, I'll go over this. This is just an initial wash of colours just to start the illusion of detail, because that's what we're painting. We're not painting exact. Well, you can, of course, you can paint what you like, but for me it's all about creating an atmosphere, an illusion of depth, of detail, of a lot going on with a minimum of effort. Now we're using cadmium yellow, light red and indigo for our painting today. A lot of this area is grasses, I say grasses, bulrushes, stuff you thatch houses with. Okay, now you don't need to stretch your paper, so we'll call this Keep It Simple Stupid, Beginner's Guide to Wet in Wet Watercolour. Bit of a long title, but the other way of painting would be just to paint with the dry paper, but you'll find that areas will buckle because they're wet and against areas that are dry. But this way you can build up, and this reclipping stretches the paper fine, and when it's completely dry you can do what you like on it. But here we've got a nice green foreground. We'll warm that up when we get round to doing that. Let's put a bit of bushy stuff. So let's have a, well, I shouldn't be holding the palette, I'm trying to show you what I'm doing. Well, let's just put a little bit of, just dropping that in. Any loose hairs, just Pull them out of your brush. Now we're painting autumn now. I don't want too much water on the brush. I have a little bit of background colour showing through here. Sorry if my head's in the way. When the shine goes off the paper, that's the time to leave it alone and just give it a dry with a hairdryer. Okay. Just getting this misty look. A bit thicker paint, but otherwise it'll just vanish into the background. I'm only using K.I.S.S watercolours, which I've always used. None of these are expensive. Well, all art material is relatively expensive. Well, just adding in those colours, creating an impression of a lot of colours, but there are only 3. But it's experience, really. Let's dry that now, the whole lot. You see how flat it is? Well, perfect. Get the hairdryer and give that a dry. Then we can go start creating a bit of detail in, or illusion of, in the foreground, and putting some larger trees in, but not too high. You can see how dark some of that's turned out, but I'm going to put other things in front of that. But let's just do some warmer foregrounds, some rich grass, greeny colour. Bit of red there. Remember, red comes forward, but this is a very strong red, so beware. Look, see, I mean, I have to put some change that red a bit. With autumn colours. Leaving those light areas. A bit smaller as you go into the background here. I really want a dark green in there. That red was just a bit too insistent. A little bit of detail in the back here. But I'd be careful of losing the transparency of all this. A bit of red in there, a bit of orangey. Okay, mix the blue and the red now. That was a better green. I've sort of got a bit of rye there. But if I put a bit of blue in there, a bit of that red. Just clumps. Okay, right, let's go into that background now. And I want to have a go with another hake, a more worn out one. Wet it, then turn it from wet to damp, and we'll start a bit of stippling. Okay, so we've got lots of points on the brush. Yeah. Bit more water, red and yellow, gives a nice orangey. Oops, sorry about the rattle. Okay, we've got some darker stuff in there. Just a bit of shadow in, and we'll put some filigree in that tree, and we'll put a smaller one over here. You don't want to make two the same. That's what I'm really trying to say. Okay, let's get some of that yellow in there. Really good fun stippling, but you can overdo it, and I'm in danger of doing that. Let's just put those in. Now we want a bit of darker colour in there, bit of shadowy colour. Okay, well no, let's not put any more in. I'll dry that off and I can do a bit of rigger work. Really lost it here, haven't I? So it happens to the best of us. Right, so rigger. And do some of that dark. Just putting these trees in. Well, that late autumn, there's now winter with some leaves left on the trees. Just make a canopy, look. Let's go to the edge. Might put a little bit more stipple on the edge of those. Okay, that'll do for that. So it's just some here. Now, putting these trunks in here just opens that space up. That's a blob of colour up. Look, it just starts to mean something. Just using palette grey, as you can see, or can't see. I'll go to the other side, do some simple stuff here. A lot of oak trees in this bit of the Wardenhall Park. There's a lovely boardwalk that was made 3 or 4 years ago. We ride our bikes along. Well, we don't ride our bikes on the boardwalk, but it's on the bike ride that we do every week along the river, part of the River Wandle, us old boys. Great fun. We take an interest in the state of the river. It was ecologically dead in the 60s, but it's all sort of come back to life now with loads and loads of fish. do that with the hake, I think. Get a bit of stuff in there. I'm going to just take a bit of red and a bit of that yellow. Ooh, don't like that. Oh no. Oh. Okay. So if you want the colours to show, you've got to put them on like as if they've just come out of the tube. Okay, I'll put these background colours in. Trees up a hill or bigger. Well, I'll make this one a little bit bigger, I think. Okay, autumn colours now. I need to, that's dry, I need to go into that and change that a little bit. To lighten it up a little bit. You can mix a bit of gouache with that, I think. So 3 colours plus a bit of gouache. Oh, there we are, I've got a sort of oh, there we are. That'll do. I think we can probably put a bird in there. Oh, look at that signature. And I'll put it in a mount. Okay, move that. Excuse me. Put that on the top. I've got the paper at about 5 degrees, 10 degrees, something like that. Got the mounts. Well, I don't really want to show the reflection in there. It'll just lose that light coming from the sky. But let's just take that up a bit. And we'll move that over there. There we are. So we've got an autumn scene with the blue behind. The whole purpose of this is to show aerial perspective. We've got the more stronger painting in the front, although it's got a little bit of rye. I could muck about with that and just add a few little put a little bit of the reflection in there. No, that'll do. Just some flicks and flourishes, bit of green. Okay, there we are. Keep it simple, stupid. Now it looks complicated, but it's all done with bits of stipple for the autumn leaves. Light over dark there. We've got a bit of a glow coming through the foreground here. But these things all take practice. You're not going to make a watercolour painter in a couple of weeks. I started this about 45 years ago and I still struggle to do a decent picture. But all I can say to you is, when you can't do it, don't quit. This is just bit every day, or most days, do a sky a day, and bit by bit you will improve and you will develop your own style, and you will produce some work that people want to pay you money for. So all the best on your endeavours, and I'll see you in the week. Thanks for looking in, guys. Stay safe. Goodbye.